What's up? How we doing? Let's get right into it, man. We've got work to do. We are 2 minutes, 17 seconds out. Here from the close of Big Bar 41. Come on in, sit down, and get serious. Because we've got shit to do. Happy Midas Monday, man. How are we? How we doing so far? All right, ATR currently, I mean, we're sitting at 20. If you look at the full day here thus far, I gotta tell you, this market's been not great. Not great. Does that mean you should be red? No, that means you should probably be flat. There just hasn't been a whole lot going on. You know, I mean, there's an argument maybe for bar 34, though you're still looking at a trading range on 34. Bar 38 was probably the most reasonable argument so far of the day. Bar 8 was reasonable. That's kind of it, you know. 19, maybe. Yeah. So you've got 8, 19, 34, bar 38. I don't know. If you hit any of those four, I'd say you're doing reasonable things. If you hit more than those four, and they were not limit order reversion scalps, which I didn't really go over too much, then you got to be in the tomb, man, because you're just fucking around. I don't know what you're doing. So, let's see what we can put together here. Bar 41, 20 seconds out. Oh, 42. All right, so you got the wick low of 35, 33, 31 is the most obvious if you wanted to go long on a limit order reversion scalp for risk management. The problem is, do you guys see what I'm looking at here? Can anybody tell me what I'm gonna say before I say it? No? I'll do it for you. Right? That's one big-ass trading range, about 90 points, 95 points. So it's really not all that big. And you've got little things in between, right? You got a big soft bear channel that's now attempting to turn into a tighter bull wedge. We'll see if that can become a thing. In the meantime, I have got limit order reversion scalps on the brain. And you might ask, well, Nico, where? You'll find out when I'm long, man. If I'm not in a position, guess what? Then there's nothing for me to take. Simple as that, big man. Mac, how are we? Yeah, you're right, man. I think the range needs to use code BIG! We gotta widen this thing out. Zen, I am tremendous, man. How are you? By the way, speaking of code big, Apex is 90% off right now. If it's time to make the numbers look bigger, quit wasting your time. Start scaling. Go hit it. 90% off. The 50K intraday trailing drawdown activation fees are discounted as well when you use code BIG, B-I-G at sign up. When you pass them, that ends today. The discounted activation fee on the 50K trailing, that ends today. Just a heads up. All right, bar 42. Carzan just used code BIG few moments ago. Big dog. We love it. Yeah, so right now I'm also looking at a limit order reversion scalp in the potential soft bull channel. There's always a counter argument, right? A lot of new traders like to pretend that they're just right all the time. Makes you look real silly to anyone who knows what the hell they're doing, by the way. This is the counter argument, that this is a big trading range. So if you get long here, if you look at it this way, you are getting long in the top third of that big sideways range. But you're making a bet on this. Is that okay to do? Hell yeah, it's okay to do. If you're making a logic-based decision and everything else lines up, including the risk management, which right now is my biggest issue because the most clear way to manage risk is the wick low of 31 minus a point. And you're kind of jammed up in here right now. Volatility's low, ATR 19. All right, here comes the open of bar 43. We'll see if they're able to take out the wick high of 39, kind of cement more so that bull wedge, but then you still got that top level of the big sideways range to deal with. Intraday high, right? Did you guys have a good weekend, by the way? Did you rest up or did you tweak out on the floor by Sunday midday? Protocol, what's up? How we doing? All right, now keep an eye out, by the way. Remember, big sideways range on the whole day, less than 100 points. As we're coming into the upper third, really the upper like 10% of that range, maybe 20%. You got to keep an eye on this becoming a thing. Volatility's low, 19 on the ATR. That's the average true range. So you got to keep an eye on that. We may just see a sideways range here. You got to be careful. And my man, using code BIG today. You need 2 accounts? I'm going to go ahead and assume you've already got 18, big dog. We got to go, man. 2? Fuck 2. Let's go 20. Ed, good morning. Gaines, how we doing? Cheryl, good to see you. See this coming right into the high end. Bar 43 is going to tell us a lot, especially on the rollover into 44. 50 seconds. We'll see what this brings. I'm a little bit concerned that we just turned this into a big sideways, or I guess a tight sideways range. See this little range? Yep, becoming a thing. As we speak, as discussed. No surprises. Though a surprise would be nice right about now. Get that volatility up, man. ATR sitting at 18. Mac, the BYD, is that right? U9 Extreme, beat the Bugatti. If that's true, why is it so cheap? Limited to 30 units. There's no way this is right. There's no way this car costs $250,000. If you beat the Bugatti, you demand at least $4 or $5 million. A car. That doesn't make any sense. That makes no sense. What a goofy... I mean, hey, they're the one who's running the car company, but what a goofy decision. Limited production. You beat the Bugatti under controlled conditions, and you charge $250,000. That's nothing. If you beat the Bugatti and you're the new fastest car in the world, should you not be charging at least a $5 million price tag? Especially with limited production. All right, boys. 30 minutes out. I'm sorry, 30 seconds out. Jeez, could you imagine? Until the close of 44. Those bears trying to take right back into the range. Bunch of garbage sideways little range action. Look at this. Oh my god. 20 points wide. The problem with Bugatti is that they're kind of fucking played out now. It's like, who gives a shit? Like, everyone who wants to get views on the internet levels up, right? So it went from Lamborghini to, I don't know, let's have variations of supercars. So like a McLaren, it's like, okay, and then it goes to Bugatti, and it's like, okay, then it goes to private jet. It's like, eventually it's just going to come back to actually helping people make money. You know, the other issue with Bugattis is, I remember growing up, they've gotten better in recent years, in like the last 5 years. Growing up, Bugattis were always the ugliest fucking car in production. I remember seeing them as a kid who should be easily impressed, and I'm like, who the fuck would drive this car that looks like it's out of a cartoon movie? They look better now, but good God, it took a while. 223. Minute 35 out. All right, I'll keep an eye on 45 here. I'll see how it closes. If it closes really, really clean, then I'll take a stab at a scalp. But I gotta tell you, if it closes with any wick whatsoever, we're in the top end of the full day range, and with ATR being 18, I know for a fact that the breakout is the lower probability event. Does that mean we're not gonna get it? No, of course that's not what it means. Welcome to second grade statistics. But if it's nice and clean, it's worth a stab. If I can get a fill rollover, let's see if the bulls want to take it, and they will. I will go ahead and risk wick low 45, ATR 17, and let's see if we can get a test of the wick high of bar number 1, which is the high of day. Very well, just take its time here. You know, we're coming right into the high end of that range. See the wick high of 1 right here. So, let it do its thing here. Risk is small, trading small, not a big bar. Sitting in the driver's seat, man. We'll see if the bear's got the wick low 45. And then I want to watch, and then I got another trade in mind pretty close to right away. But it ain't over till it's over. I'm going to cut that. Let my copier flatten. That's a $1,600 loss. And right as we come back in, I'm going to hit it long again if I can get a fill down at my limit. Get fill, and I'm going to use the wick low 35 here. 1 point beneath there, and there we go, sitting long a second time. Just scalping here, man. Scalping, scalping, small stabs. ATR sitting 19, man, nice and high volatility. Well, come on now, bulls. Now, if the bears end up taking out the wick low at 35, you know we got on our hands a big sideways full day trading range in effect. But that's okay. A lot of you guys get really fucking emotional over a couple of trades. You gotta chill out, dude. You tell me you want to make $100,000, $1 million a month, and then, you know, you lose 2 trades in a row and you get fucking pissed, throw your monitor and shit. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing, big dog. All right. But you know what, bulls? It'd be real nice if you could step in and do your job. All right, there's a rollover into bar 47. See what the bulls got. Well, ATR is sitting right about 1920-ish. Let these bulls step back in, get the job done here. Holy shit. All right, let them control this a bit. We just got news, clearly. Get this guy under control here. ATR now sitting at 22, by the way. Okay, there's the rollover into bar 48. News that, at least that headline seems to be reasonably under control. We'll see here. ATR sitting 2021. Got a full ATR on the brain here. It's a little more here, bulls. Just a tad heavier of a punch. Man, this low volatility, they'll take you real close and then hesitate. That's okay. ATR 22. Let the bulls reload. Let's take one more run at it. $58 seconds here to the rollover of 48 into 49. Go on now, bulls. We don't have time for this, big dogs. We've got shit to do. Took us within a point or two of target and then pulled on back, hesitating right here around the 410s. 22 seconds out. See, this is where everyone says, just take it, man. Green is green. Bullshit, green is green. Whole bunch of green is green traders back to their 9 to 5 is what's going on. That's the truth. Like it or not, big man. All right, there's the rollover into 49. ATR now down to 20. Let's get a push here, bulls. Boom, full ATR out there. Let's watch how 49 closes up. Let the copier flatten here. And we'll be flat. All right, let's keep it pushing. Keep it pushing. 437 out. Bar 49 into the open of big bar 50. Man, if you took that scalp, put a W in the chat. I'm curious. All right, 340 out here from the close of 49. Again, we're coming into the open of big bar 50. Reasoning behind that trade, good old RAM re-entry. The continuation happened to fail, but the soft bull channel stayed intact. So I turned the continuation into a limit order reversion scalp. No big deal. Just regular scalping behavior within RAM. All right, we'll watch here 3 minutes out. We've got a massive red day here so far, 42 bucks. And by the way, when you're looking at this soft bull channel, was a bull wedge, now looking a lot more like a regular soft bull channel. You gotta be careful in low volatility conditions getting long. Again, ATR 21. Getting long this close to a stop hunt. Again, especially in low volatility conditions. All right, there's the test through the wick high of 1. That's a new high of day here for the bulls. And again, what is the higher probability event here? Is it that the bears at least attempt to pull it back into the range eventually over the next few bars, or maybe few half hour, we'll say? Or is it that the bulls just turn this day into a huge bull trend? Can both happen? Of course. Again, welcome to second grade statistics and probabilities. But we know what the higher probability event is. More times out of 100, the bears are going to try to pull it back into the range, especially when volatility is like this, ATR 22. Does that mean I get short? Nope, not until I have a setup. All right, so you got 37 seconds here until 49 rolls over into big bar 50. We'll see how that rollover looks. And we'll see if we close outside the wick high of 1. All right, that's going to close just outside the wick high of 1. That's okay. First bar to close outside the wick high of 1. A new high of day into bar 50. Very low volatility, so I wait on 50. See that? Bear's trying to take us back, right back into the trading range. It's not entirely unexpected, right? All right, halfway through bar 50 here. So far, all the bears are trying to do is take us right back into the trading range. That's okay. We know that that's probably coming, most likely after we get bar 49 in the current environment. So now the question becomes, where do we go from here? Do we end up turning this full day back into a range, or do the bulls try to turn this into a soft bull channel outside of the full day's trading range, or even a bull trend, which is the lowest probability, but would be the most awesome for us, because we would just get a shitload of trades and make a bunch of money. But let's let them figure out what they're going to do here. We'll just take it as it comes. All right, Bears. All right, give me 2 minutes. Don't you go anywhere. That's an order, big dog. Be right back. What's up? Welcome back. How we doing? How we doing? Bar 51. Of course, 50 closing inside. Bar 49. So now we're on 251. You can tell, as we discussed back on bar 49, a whole lot of insecurity taking this thing up out of the full day's range. Man, if you stuck around during the break, I gotta tell you, you have the attention span necessary. I gotta tell you, it's embarrassing today how little attention span you need to win. When I step away, if you leave in 10 seconds, that's fine. Like, that's cool. But I will say, as far as attention span, you gotta be able to sit here and stare at nothing going on for hours and take no trades and then have the balls to step up and the discipline to hit it when the setups come, right? So if your competition can't handle not taking a trade for 30 seconds or someone not, dancing around for, 45 seconds on live stream, I think you're going to fucking kill it because the competition is embarrassingly easy to beat, we'll say, in this world. Now, as far as actual trading, the competition, there's a whole lot of institutions going on. So this is the big leagues. But in the prop space, man, hey, the reason that you're able to take money from the big pool in the middle is because the competition is what they are, which is other retail traders with awful discipline. If everyone had as good a discipline as the institutions, most of the time, prop firms wouldn't exist. So be grateful for it. Gaines, how did you know what I do? Come on now. All right, little hesitation here out of the bulls, as discussed. Whole lot of insecurity taking it up and through. It's a grinder. ATR sitting basically 20 even. Question, would you say that funded payouts come directly from blown evals until the live account? Yeah, the funded payouts come from the pool of money in the middle that is the prop firm holding that pool of money. And that pool of money comes from activation fees and all evals, not just blown evals. All evals. At least that's the way I understand it. Of course, I don't run a prop firm, but it seems pretty clear that's what the business model is. No one's trying to hide that. It's not like it's illegal. Just the way it operates, which I love, because it's a tremendous opportunity for us. Chat here. I was listening to some talking head going on and on about prop firms, saying they're all going to blow up and crumble. I think that we're so early that prop firms are going to be around for a long time. Look, you want to know my take on this? If you have people sitting around a round table or whatever and just talking for 3 hours about how prop firms are all going to blow up, let them. Let them waste their fucking time beating off to each other about what's going to happen in the future, and we can all just make as much money as humanly possible while the opportunity exists. Let them stay distracted, like we give a fuck. Good. You're distracted, we're not. Bar 52. Come on. Minute 38 out. You know, the reality is, dude, I don't know. Who cares? Who cares? If you ask people 20 years ago, what's the trading space going to look like? Would they have been even in the ballpark? Probably not. So, take it as it comes. The opportunity's here now. What the fuck are we talking about 12 years from now for? There is no time, dude. Make your money now. Set yourself up so that you are unbreakable. Even if the industry does go away, which who knows? It's really big, I doubt it, but maybe, right? I don't know. Don't you want to be in a position where you have so much fucking money that you can just trade personal if nothing else exists anyway? Thoughts on the margins / PDT changes? I love it. I love it. I think the number should be 0. I think you should be able to take 1 penny. Well, maybe not a penny. $1 and trade partial shares 1,000,000 times a day if you want to and you can afford the fees and commissions. I think that is what America should be. At least the financial markets in this country. That would best represent the country as a whole, would it not? PDT was such a fucking insane rule. Oh my God, some people got really hurt during the dot-com bubble. We should protect them from themselves, but we can let the bankers do whatever they want. But retail is too fucking stupid. So we gotta put rules in place to make sure they can't participate and they stay good worker bees. Bullshit. If someone blew up during the dot-com bubble, they take accountability and say, wow, I fucked up. That was not good. And they pick themselves up, scrape together what they can, and try again. Don't put guardrails in place to stop people from getting ahead. That's not the US. All right, we got a little bit of an attempt here at a sideways range. This is no coincidence, by the way. As we try to pop through, you see that Wickaya bar number 1. This is the first bar of the New York session. If you're new here, by the way, we see you. We see you. Don't worry, you're not outside looking in. This is counting the bars from the New York session open, okay? So you had the high of day, the Wickaya 1. Bar 49 tried to take that out. We said it's probably not going to go very far probability-wise, and it didn't. And now everybody's a little bit insecure. We got a little sideways range, maybe a wedge, pretty aggressive wedge. This probably won't last very long. Which way does it go from here? It's about 50-50. Maybe slightly leaning toward coming back into the range. Okay, does that mean get short? Well, I mean, what are you going to do? Risk the wick high of bar 53? Probably not, right? Unless you wanted to go for a really, really low win rate, really high reward to risk trade, in which case, have at it. But that's a little out of the ballpark here of what I think is logical, especially if you're trading prop. All right, ATR is just hanging out here right around 20. We got to see this thing pick up a little bit. I think it will. I mean, we're coming into 1 o'clock Central. About 7 minutes out. Usually we start getting a little bit of volatility bump around that time, which should push us out of this little sideways range or wedge starting on bar 49 or 50. Mario, what's up, dude? How are we? Brave, good to see ya. SRD, what's up? Hey, man, if you haven't yet, by the way, I appreciate you hitting the like button on the stream. Hey, man. Or dislike, big dog, hit it. Do it to me. Helps out a whole bunch, man. Appreciate it. All right. All right, rolling over to bar 54. This is a sideways trading range from bar 50. Obviously, that's what it is. So now we got to let this thing break one way or the other. Slightly higher probability right now that it pulls back into the full day's range because volatility is so low. ATR 19, red number, well, really white number in the red flag, bottom right of your screen. But when I say slightly higher probability, we're talking at best 55-45, right? So keep an eye on this, see what's up. Chris, what's up? Yep, that's been what's going on here lately. All right, in the chat, because I know, man, I know some of you guys don't want to say. I don't get it. You know what First of all, before I go on my rant, in the chat, are you long, short, or flat? And if you've really got a set on you, what price? Now, I think this industry is plagued with an issue, and that is people like to get their self-worth from, think about this for a second. In the early days especially, if you're kind of all in on trading, you don't really have much else going on. I think that that's an important season. Okay, it's not going to be like that forever, for sure, but the problem with that season is that you end up getting your self-worth because it's kind of like your whole day, whatever your P&L was, right? I get it, you know, like it, almost like we've been there, right? And the problem is when you're red or you didn't have as good of a day as you would have liked, you end up pulling your self-worth from that number, which, let me tell you something. Let me explain it a different way. Getting your worth as an individual from did the decisions I made on a chart that actually doesn't even exist in real life about whether in the short term it was going to go up or down, did it work out in my favor today? Did the weighted coin flip land on my side today? If the answer was no, you feel like a piece of shit? That's so goofy. That's not worth it. That's a miserable existence, and I get it. It's hard to pull yourself out of that in the early days. It's really, really tough. Which is why I always say the only way to fix all these issues, FOMO, discipline, everything, moving stop losses, averaging down when you know you shouldn't be, taking profits early, all of the issues that plague every single trader. You're not the only one to have made them. Everyone has made all the mistakes you have made and then some. You're not special in that case. You're not making, mistakes that no one understands. Everybody does the same bullshit. We're all very similar in that. Because we're all humans playing the same game, and we're all wired pretty fucking similarly, like it or not. You got to get that self-worth from, did you do what you were supposed to do, the discipline? And again, the only way you fixed all these issues is by developing a real track record. The only way you do that is you trade a bit smaller and you brute force the discipline for a couple of weeks. Then you get a track record of progress. I often make the comparison, like if someone is really struggling, they're like trying to lose weight or gain weight, I guess. Well, let's say lose weight because that's the more common issue. For me, it was always the opposite. Trying to gain. I grew up extremely skinny. But if someone's really trying to lose weight, they'll struggle with it for years. And then finally they're like, I'm fucking done. This is not who I am, enough. And they spend the next 2 weeks brute forcing the diet. It sucks, it's tasteless, it's miserable. You sit there, you take a sip of water to swallow your dry ass chicken breast, and it's like, wow, this sucks. 2 weeks goes by, you look in the mirror, you're like, holy shit. I look good, big dog. You're like, my face, what's going on here? And all of a sudden, you see them 6 months later and they've lost 200 pounds. All it took was the brute force to see a result. They got traction, and that got them out of the mud when they've been stuck for years. You think trading is different. It's the exact same thing. It's exactly the same. If you do not brute force discipline for at least 2 weeks, you're fucked. Do you understand? You will be in the same spot 6 to 12 months from now, I promise. Because it happens to everybody who doesn't do it. I promise. Think of your life a year from now. Do you want to be in a same or similar or worse position? No? Is that scary? Is that frightening? There is no time, dude. A year, even if you live a long life, that's a pretty big fucking chunk. What's better? Short-term dopamine of averaging down and oh my god, it happened to work out. You're still poor. The fuck? Fix it. A week and a half, 2 weeks of brute force discipline will change everything. I don't know how else to say it. I'm giving you the answer. Bar 55, 327 out. All right, man. Minute 38 out here from the close of bar 55. ATR down below 19. All right, we got bar 55 rolling over into 56, still in this little sideways range. Now let's see if the bears can fade this guy. They'd have to break that soft bull channel we've had since basically bar 24. We've got a whole lot more developed by bar like 45, we'll say. How did you decouple your self-worth from your finances? I think it's easier done than said, which is backwards, right? Let's talk about, as far as trading, but even in life in general. In order, first of all, you have to do that. Every beginner trader is going to tie their self-worth day to day to their P&L, right? And I think the only thing that eventually helped me was internalizing to an extreme degree that right now you're not a winning trader, right? And your self-worth, and your net worth, but your self-worth is tied to your trading performance. So all you do is just consistently lose money, and then you feel like shit every day. So something has to change, clearly. That's not a winning equation. You're just fucked forever if you do that. So if you instead say, well, what needs to happen for me to decouple that, and then also, which is kind of the main thing, become a profitable trader so I can actually achieve the goal rather than just kicking the can down the road until you die. Well, what needs to happen is you need to follow a clear, logical methodology consistently and be patient and disciplined, which you're none of those things right now. And then once you do that, you can tie your self-worth to process because you know that almost nobody else in the trading space, which is why most traders lose, are consistently, without missing, following process. Which, includes discretionary decision-making and nuance, but you'll get better with that with time. You just gotta follow some kind of methodology with real discipline for a while. And if you tie your self-worth to, did I follow the process? The same way as if you're on a diet. If you tie it to the scale, you're going to be pissed for the next 6 months. If you tie it to, did I hit all my meals when I said I was going to without cheating today, you're going to feel fucking awesome from day one. And then you get to enjoy that process because you feel better and better every day. Same thing with trading. So you get to feel good through the process because you're tied to process and decision making and discipline rather than result. And then you also get the result. So you have a lose-lose, tying your self-worth to outcome, lose-lose, versus a win-win, tying your self-worth to process, which then also gives you the outcome. It's just a decision. Just say, okay, fuck it, I'm just going to do that now. I'm just going to be brute force disciplined for a couple of weeks, and I'll feel good about myself in knowing that I did things today. I was disciplined today to a level that almost no one else is. And then you'll feel good about yourself. And then, 3 weeks down the line, you'll be like, holy shit, I'm actually making progress. And a year down the line, imagine the change. Versus the other way, if you just keep tying your self-worth to your outcome, a year down the line, you're going to be a year older with no better result, and you're going to feel even worse. Do it today. Bar 60, man. Big sideways range here. So again, what I'm looking at right now here, this is no coincidence. We talked about this possibility way back here on bar 49. You had the full day trading range potential. Now we're forming a tiny little sideways trading range. How wide are we, by the way? 20 points wide. Up here toward the high. Bulls are very insecure, taking it outside of the full day's range. Bears want to take it back into the range, but they can't come to any kind of conclusion yet. So I got to sit and let them do so. So we wait for positive expected value to return. Bulls, Bears, man, somebody, come on now. All worked up, spilling my coffee. ATR 17. Could you imagine if it was 77? Man, I'd be drowning in it. All right, somebody give Trump his iPhone or something, man. We need something going on here. That ATR is dipping into the 17s. That's not great. Not great. We got to break out of this somehow. Sooner rather than later would be tremendous. Chat, this summer might be bad if it's dead already. Don't you put that on us. Don't you put that on us. It's not even May yet. You leave that out. This summer is going to be huge. We have 50 seconds here till we roll over into 58. You could really use a tweet or something at this point. Little headline. Bulls testing the high end of that little tiny trading range, which would also be a new high a day, by the way. Question, is a 10-point scalp even worth it to you? Yeah, sure, if I can make sense of the risk, why not? Yeah, man, look. I don't care how big the numbers get. A small scalp, you can still book. Even a small scalp, man, you can still book. Let's say the really small end. 500, $1,000, especially in prop trading, dude. That's a little guy, right? $1,500, that's a little guy. I don't care how big the numbers get. You know, $1,000 is $1,000. And if I'm sitting here and there's a 10-point scalp that I can make sense of, and that's how my size happens to be sized, a couple $1,000, whatever, I'm gonna put it on, dude. But I'm not gonna risk 85 points for an 8-point scalp. That's just not really in my wheelhouse that I like to stay in. You understand, man? My wife and I slept on a dirty old mattress on the floor in a shitty old apartment building. There was a murder-suicide in the laundry room of this building. And spiders would crawl. We'd wake up with big-ass hogs crawling on us regularly. I'll take a 10-point scalp, dude. Question, Nico, does your focus on discipline imply a strict adherence to the RAM protocol as the core logic, or are you referring to a more holistic methodology where RAM is simply the execution trigger? Let me answer it in my words. RAM, as most people here understand it, is not true deep RAM. RAM is a top-down logic methodology, and the setups that you guys see just happen to fit in at that period of time. There's also what I call advanced RAM, which is real RAM, where you give yourself leash that I go in depth in the tomb, which you necessarily are going to need to understand if you want to do this long term. RAM is a thought process. It's a way of looking at things. It's a way of reading price action. It's a way of keeping you on track with positive expected value as often as humanly possible, while not being confused. That is RAM. When people describe RAM as one simple setup, all I can do is be a little bit disappointed because that's not even close to what this is. It's a way to maintain edge on a mid and long-term sample size as often as humanly possible. Because that's what keeps you fucking paid and keeps you away from a job and keeps you excelling and staying home with your family and making as much money as humanly possible because life is really expensive. All right, minute 27 out. Well, go on, 58. Do it to him. 30 seconds out. HR down to 15. Holy shit. It's low, man. All right, I'm pulling it out. Watch this baby move 200 points. Don't you go anywhere, big man. 2 minutes. All right, what's up? How are we? still in this little trading range here. Starting to get on my fucking nerves a little bit, man. Yeah, Carzan, in the tomb, all of the above. There's a 20-plus hour video curriculum on everything you need with RAM. And then I do daily tomb talks, which are, I answer member questions every day in video format in the portal. And then we do a member meeting every single week to clear everything up. So, yeah, to answer your question, there's a shitload of nuance, discretionary, all of it. Everything that people don't seem to understand is in there. Is it a time investment, by the way? Of course it's a time investment. But so is going the next 3 years and being in the same fucking place you are right now. And I think that's a little bit, more nerve-wracking, at least to me. Because I'm serious about my goals, man. Bar 60, 315 out. Look at this, Jesus. 57, 58, 59. Ugliest sequence I've ever seen in my life. We got a big sideways range. Oh, and by the way, you know, another question that I get a lot about the tomb that I'd like to clear up is, for like the weekly meetings and stuff, people say, well, do I have to be on camera and shit? I don't do it that way. That's getting into community. We have community here, okay? You don't join the tomb to be part of a nice little community like every other trading space. That's not why the fuck we're here. We're here to provide for our families, make as much money as humanly possible, and do so logically, okay? So it's anonymous. It's one to you guys. You're not on camera. The question submissions, you submit them to me. No one else sees them, and I answer them if I think they'll help people on the meeting. Okay, that is the way to do it. This is not a community. Community is a fucking soft excuse to cover up a lack of real, what I'll say, value that's actually going to help you. That's not what the tomb is. Community is here. The tomb is where you go to actually implement this to try to do it for real. Bar 60. Bar numbers, they're just counting from the New York Open. Counts the bars. So if I say, hey, guys, look at bar 45, you know what the fuck I'm talking about, no matter where in the world you live. Bar 61, rolling over. ATR down below 15, 14 and a half here on the ATR. What's the significance of the ATR? Bottom right of your screen, you see that white number with the red flag, says 14.86. That's the average true range. It's the average range in points of a 5-minute bar. It's based on the last 10 5-minute bars in this case. It would be the last 10 bars, no matter what time frame you're on. We happen to be on a 5-minute. And I use it to help me determine, hey, is the trade logic behind the risk management and the potential profit take, does that make mathematical sense for me? And then I help it with some profit taking depending on the trade. I don't really think of it as an indicator, by the way. To me, that's more just a heads-up data display. Helps us determine how fast things are moving. Higher is better to a tipping point. If it starts getting like, here on a 5-minute chart, for example, contextually speaking, if that ATR starts getting like 80, 90, 100 plus, usually you're dealing with some sort of news-driven environment. But I've always said between like 30 and 70, sweet spot. We love it. All right, minute 25 out here to the rollover of bar 61 into the open of bar 62. We're still in a tight little trading range. It's tightening down. It was about 20 points wide. We're now looking probably at about 15 points wide. Chris! God, we've got another Chris in the chat. That makes like, what, 35? Says, finally was able to create and connect an Apex account using code BIG, B-I-G. Yes, sir, Apex, code BIG, B-I-G, 90% off, and you can pass in 1 day. That's the deal right now. It does not get better than that, by the way. They're running the best deal that they ever run right now. So hit that up, man. Scale 20 accounts at Apex. I'm going to run a poll. I'm going to run a flash poll, so answer it quickly. All right, here we go. Ready? Poll is live. Which way does NQ break out of this sideways trading range? I'm talking since bar 50, so watch on your screen what I'm drawing right now. Which way do we break, higher or lower? We've got about an hour and a half left on the day, a little bit less. If your answer is we don't, then you got to put it in the chat. If you think we just stay in that range the rest of the day, drop it in chat. Pretty close to 50-50 so far. A little bit of bias toward the downside from you guys. 55% down. Interesting. Okay. That's about right as far as probability. You guys are good. Question, which way do you think it'll break? I think it's about 45-55. 45% probability we break higher, 55% probability we break lower. Which is extremely close to 50-50 in this world. And that's assuming a breakout at all, by the way. There's also the possibility we spend the next hour, 20 minutes going sideways, though. This tight, I mean 15, 20 points wide. I think we'll break. All right, last call. 30 seconds, get your vote in, then I'm going to end it. Flash poll, man, goes quick. Why do you give the edge to it going down? The only reason is because it's very low volatility and the full day was already treating it like a less than 100 point wide trading range on bar like 48, remember? Or by bar 48, including everything behind it, right? Whole lot of inside closes. You see all the wicks earlier today? Even when volatility was a little bit higher. A lot of inside closes. That's the only reason. All right, end poll. 54% voted downside. We'll see. Well, come on now, Bears. I want to see this thing tank about 400 points. Let's get a test here during power hour of 27,000. What do you think? I like the way you think. I'd take that. All right, 415 out here from the close of 63, testing the low end of this new sideways range that we've had since bar 50. Let's see if the bears can get us below the wick low 53 with a nice clean close. That would be a start. Coming in for the test here. There you go. Big quick wick. Down through the wick low 53. $320 out. Let's see what the bears got. It's going to be a little bit of hesitation here, breaking down outside of that trading range. ATR 14.5, very low on volatility here. Bears dump this thing, man. Let's see it. All right, 63. Let's see if 63 can give us a nice clean close beneath the wick low of 53. And then I gotta watch bar 64. Just give me 2 seconds. Just gotta... All right, we're back. And we're ready to watch 63 close up. We got 50 seconds here. You know there's going to be a little bit of hesitation here getting it down beneath that trading range. What trading range am I talking about? This right here. That guy right there is the problem. Oh, man. Oh man, the prettier that bar looks, the more worthwhile it becomes for me. Even on the first bar, closing outside, you got 61. Or really, you got 60, 61, 62. Let's see what 63 brings here. A nice clean close, and I gotta set that out there. You see that hesitation? Ooh, bit of a wick. 15 seconds is all that deserves. If the bears want it within 15, then they can have it, man. If not, I don't want them. 7 seconds. Let's see what they got. No fill, no trade. Damn close! But no fill, no trade. Gotta pull it. Now I watch bar 64. And we see what 64 here brings. That was very close to getting a fill, man. Jeez. That's alright. We watch 64 now. Hey, if you haven't yet, by the way, hit that like button. I appreciate you doing it. If we can get to 200, that would be tremendous. All right, 4 minutes, ATR, looking like it might start increasing here a little bit. Let's get a nice clean close here out of the bears. That would be very, very nice. All right, let's do a revamped or a refresher in the chat. Are you long, short, or flat? How are you sitting? Short, 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 flat, short, flat, flat, long, long, short, 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 flat. All right, man, well, let's see. We got 315 out from the close up of bar 64. Go on, Bears. Dump this thing, man. Give me a nice clean close out of 64. I want to get short. Coming up to about halfway through bar 64, by the way. Bulls hesitating big time. Big old wick on the low end here of 64. By the way, those of you guys who are trying to bootstrap, going full-time as a trader, best prop, in my opinion, to do so is going to be TakeProfitTrader. They let you take daily payouts. You got to get some money coming into the bank to go full-time. Makes logical sense, right? Code BIG, baby, over at TakeProfitTrader. That's TPT. Code BIG right now is 40% off, and when you pass, you will not pay the $130 activation fee if you use code BIG, which is a ridiculous amount of money that just gets wiped. All right, minute 25. Come on, 64. Get down, man. Give me a nice clean close. I want to get short, big dog. Yeah, if this closes green, Z, all of a sudden, I'm watching the trading range again. Is what I'm doing. But hey, we got a minute 5. Minute 5 is an eternity here on NQ. We'll see if we can get a nice clean bare body. $35 seconds. Go on, Bears. Dump it, dump it. A lot of hesitation right around the wick low of 63. They're not so sure, are they? 20 seconds. I'm going to go ahead. Get that copy trader engaged. Just in case. Well, I don't, on a day like today, man, I don't want to miss anything. So let me just get ready here. Let's not be lazy here. Just in case you get that last second adjustment, gonna get nothing. So we wait on bar 65. Let's see what 65 has in store. See this? 63, 64 closes just inside the wick low of 63. 65 opens, the bulls immediately take the wick high of 64. Is that a sign of a reversal? At least good enough for me to put a long trade on? No, not quite. But is it a sign of hesitation out of the bears? You're fucking damn right it is. Let's see what the bears got in store. Let's see if they can clean this guy up. 65, man. I could still have an entry on 65, but the bears have some work to do. For sure. All right, halfway through 65 here. Beauty. Go on, bears. You would think, I mean, look, ATR is 14, so you would think these bars would be bigger than they are. Bar 65 so far, 11 points, 12 points in range. Ridiculous. Tiny. All right, 90 seconds out here. Let's see what 65 has in store. Go on, bears. "30 seconds. All right, time for me to go ahead. Get that copy trader engaged. You've got 61, 62, 63. First bar to close outside the range. No fill. 64. And now you've got 65. Got to see a nice clean close. And let's see if the bears can get it done. Get my stop limit sell ready to place. Beautiful. Place him on the rollover. Take it, bears. Do it to him. All they got to do is take out that wick low of 65, and I will be sitting short. Give them about 30 seconds to get that done. If they don't want it, I don't want them. But if they take it out, then I'd like to participate here. 13 seconds. Oh, you bears. No fill, no trade. Gotta pull it. Bunch of babies. All right, 66. What's up? That's exactly right, Gamma. One of the best things you can do as a newer trader, by the way, especially if you're trading RAM, on continuation trades, start on the majority of them. There's a little bit of discretion and nuance involved, but that's more down the line anyway. Start using stop limit entries for continuation trades when the setup makes sense, right? Like that one, rather than just marketing in with a button. Increases your probability by a good amount. All right, halfway through 66. See if the bears have any steam. Struggling down here. I mean, they couldn't take out the wick low of 65 at all. It's not the greatest sign thus far. 2 minutes left on 66. $70 seconds out from the close of bar 66. Yep, good no fill, no trade on that last trade there, on that last, well, I should say, order. Those bears hesitating to take it much lower. ATR still sitting 15.16. What time frame? I'm on a 5 minute. This is a 5 minute time frame. Doesn't always have to be a 5 minute, but this is kind of my home base. We got bar 67 here. Big ol' inside close out of 66. Huge wick. 66 will close basically at its midpoint. So now we watch 67, see what it's got. Will there be another trade today? Well, I'll tell you what, if I knew that the answer was no, I would not still be here. That is the goal. That's always the goal. So we got 250 out here from the close of 67. You see the bulls trying to take it back up to that area of interest from bar 50 through bar, we'll call it 62. See if they can. Honestly, best case scenario, these bears would just dump this baby off a cliff and give us 6 short continuation setups in the next hour. We would love that. Two minutes. Oh, man. I think we're at a very interesting point in price. Because this region right here is kind of the argument of, well, do we head back to this sideways area of interest and just kind of die out through the close? Or you can make the argument for maintaining more of a soft bull channel. Really, you could call it a bull wedge here with the previous high of day. My favorite scenario is if these bears can get a little bit lower, take out the wick low of 47, 46, take out the wick low of 42. All of a sudden, we could be off to the races heading for low of day before close. That would be best case scenario, though that would also probably require an increase in volatility, which is not so unexpected during power hour. Wouldn't take much. ATR's 15, 14, they're on the rollover. All right, we're into bar 68. Chat says big dump incoming. Yeah, I mean, it certainly feels that way, doesn't it? I don't operate on feel. I operate on RAM. So let's see. I sure hope you're right, man. That would be a beautiful thing for me. Good, 68. Get down. Halfway through 68. Well, go on now, Bears! It's slow. Volatility's real slow. ATR 15.6, 67. Goodness. I want to see a big old dump. Well, those of you guys who voted down in our poll, I would say you were right at this point. All right, we're about 40 minutes out here from the 3:50 Eastern Time algorithm. Okay, 12 seconds. Here comes the rollover into the open of bar 69. Now, our nightmare, by the way, would be this. This into the close would be our absolute worst nightmare. About a 15-point wide trading range. ATR 14. Low volatility, single ATR trading range. All right, 4 minutes here till the close of 69. Let's get nice and zoomed in here, man. By the way, when you see 67, 68, 69, if you're in a trade, totally fine. Do your thing, let it play out. If you're taking trades on 67 or 68 in particular, I think we might have a patience issue, unless you really have a good reason to be doing so. All right, Bulls. What you got? You want to take us back up to that little range? Minute 25 out here from the close up of bar 69 into the open of bar 70. A couple arguments for a trading range. You got one up here, one down here. So the close up of bar 69 is going to confuse this market. You know it is. "25 seconds. Bulls struggling to get us above the wick high of 65 and keep it there. See how they close this guy up. It's going to be tight. Just barely outside the wick high of 65. All right, see how 70 acts. I've seen this movie too many times. The only issue is that we might be running out of time here as far as the market doing what I'm about to talk about. We only got 35 minutes until the 350 algo. But I've seen this movie too many times. The bulls try to take us back up, get stuck in here, and then either hang out in there or just tank back. The problem is, are they going to have time to take it up here, hang out, tank back, and take out the wick low of 42? Probably not. It's already 215, 216 central, so the lowest probability worth paying attention to, the lowest probability event right here is that the bulls trend us up through the high of day, wick high of 53, and continue through the close. That's the lowest probability event. Can it happen? Of course it can happen. But that should never be the baseline expectation, right? All right, guys. Well, those of you guys who are trying to go full time, I'll tell you what, TakeProfitTrader, in my opinion, is by far your best bet. That's where you should start. 40% off, and you won't pay an activation fee so long as you use code BIG, B-I-G, at sign up. Apex, by the way, running a good deal right now as well. They're 90% off. It doesn't get any better than that at Apex. And at Apex, you can pass the eval and be funded in 1 day. So if you were to pass it before close here tonight, you'll be funded by the next session open. All right, guys. So just to be clear, you could technically be funded here in less than 3 hours. Better get your ass moving if that's the plan, though. All right, guys. I'll see you soon. All right. Hope you have a good rest of your day. See you tomorrow.